Hi, I'm Madeline from Sheen Slings, and this is my video tutorial of how to do the forward-facing position in the Ergobaby Embrace carrier. So to get started, we're going to pop this carrier on our waists, get the waistband done up, and you're going to notice I'm going to actually put this really quite high. And the reason for that is in order for the baby to sit so that the panel doesn't reach up too high, so they've got a clear, good view and it's not too close to their neck, we're going to need to use up quite a lot of this panel underneath them. And so for that, it depends on the height of your baby. If your baby is already quite tall, you might not need to use up as much. But for most babies starting to try this carry somewhere between 4, 5, 6 months, you'll probably find you need to put this waistband quite high. So once that's ready, I can go get my baby. And I'm just going to start by settling them comfortably on my chest, forward facing. And you'll notice I'm just letting them settle so that their bum is lower than their knees and they're sitting in a really comfortable position, as you might hold them in arms and get them to a comfortable height for me to carry. And you'll notice the bum, if I turn sideways, the bum is quite a bit lower than the waistband, so we're really sitting into this panel to make this panel shorter, just above where this warning label is. And then if I bring the label up between their legs and in front of them. So what I'm looking for here is that this top of the carrier isn't coming any higher than just under their neck. If it is coming too high, try seating them in a bit lower, or it might, if that isn't working, it might just be that they aren't quite ready for this position, and try again in a few weeks. So once I'm here, I'm going to pop one strap over my shoulder, supporting baby with one hand. I'm going to reach round behind my back, wiggle my shoulder, pull it nice and tight, and then bring it round and click it in. Just going to move baby's arm out of the way. There we go, and we're going to click it in. And then I'm going to tighten up. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Strap goes over, support baby with one hand while pulling down and then across. You'll notice I wiggle my shoulder quite a lot. I really want to get those straps quite tight. The material is stretchy and I want to get all that stretchiness out. The reason for that is baby, when facing away from me, is going to pull away from my body. So if these straps are at all loose, the weight is going to pull away, and that's going to pull me over and put a lot of pressure on my shoulders and probably induce a bit of back pain. So I need to get those straps as tight across my body as possible. Parents are often worried about over tightening baby, but you can see on my carrier I've got loads of stretch in the panel. Baby's not over tightened. This is just for my comfort, and I'm going to be most comfortable if I can get those straps as tight as possible across my shoulders. Now, let's check baby's safety and baby's comfort. So, what does baby need to be safe in this carrier? Well, firstly, as we talked about, we just want to check that this isn't coming up too high, so it's staying underneath their neck. So they've got a great view, and also they're not feeling any pressure on their neck or the airway. Again, as I talked about, if it isn't coming quite high enough, I might need to see if I can sit baby deeper into the panel and use up more material underneath them, or it might just be that they're not quite ready for this position, and try it again in another couple of weeks. There is no head support, so the other thing baby needs for safety in this position is to have a really strong neck, or a really strong neck for the period of time you're going to be facing forwards. Facing forwards works best for the portion of babies when baby is most awake. So they're most inquisitive and looking at things and got most strength in their neck. And then before they get tired, before they start to lose strength and also lose interest and so forth and become overwhelmed, it's a really good idea to turn them in. The biggest safety rule is that they cannot fall asleep in this position. They must be awake. As I mentioned, there is no head support, so if they fall asleep and they start to lose tone, because of the way they're sitting on their bottom, with their legs coming up like so, or should be for comfort, because of that, If they do start to fall asleep, what is going to happen is their head is going to go over the front of the carrier, and that is going to impinge on their airway. So they cannot fall asleep. This is the one safety check you will need to be doing continually. So if you're out and you're walking, you need to keep checking that they are still awake, and if they fall asleep or are starting to get drowsy, it's really important that you stop and turn them inwards. Occasionally I get parents say, but I don't want to wake them up, they've fallen asleep, I don't want to wake them up, and so forth. Bear in mind they have no head support. So if you aren't willing to turn them inwards, you must support their head by holding here to prevent them from potentially having their airway impinged. But ideally, turn them in. Comfort, we're just looking that they are able to move their limbs and that they are sitting nicely on their bottom as how we started. Occasionally, if a baby grumbles and kicks off going in, they might end up straightened like so. This isn't dangerous, it just puts the weight on their inner thighs, which is less comfortable, and if that happens, you can simply just slide your hands into the carrier and rotate their pelvis away from you to get them back nice and securely on their bottom, so weight's on their bottom and not on their inner legs. I hope that's been helpful. Any questions, do comment below or send me a DM. Bye-bye.